Hi everyone, and welcome to the full moon for October, the second full moon for this month. And it's also on the 31st of October. We have Halloween coming up on today as well. So there's a lot of eerie energy going on, and I'm sure that you can feel that, not just because of the Halloween aspect, but also because in 2 weeks' time we have the elections coming up. So there's a lot of tension, so much tension, and a sense of feeling ungrounded. And the whole collective consciousness, we could feel almost like everyone's holding their breath to see what's going to happen in America, because we also do know the consequences, the ripple effects that's going to come from certain decisions that could also be made. And even if you sit there and you think, well, I don't care about the elections, that doesn't change the fact that you can still feel the upset that is being also felt throughout collective globally of what's going on as well. So basically, we're dealing with different aspects coming in from different angles that's creating it's like rattling our foundation a little bit at the moment, because even though there's parts of us that we know that we can feel in control and we are in control, today you might notice, and also a few days leading up to the full moon, you might have noticed that that feeling where you want to take control of something, but you feel like there's this thick glass between you and then finally actually achieving that, really fully embodying that feeling of the wish fulfilled that you want, which is now wanting to feel in control. But it's like you can't quite get it, you can't quite claim it. So if you feel like that today, then you've got to thank this vibe for that, and probably not a good thank you, as I might add here. But that is what it's going to feel like. So when we feel out of control of something, instinctively, subconsciously, what we want then is to just feel safe. We want a sense of safety. We want to know that things are going to be okay. We want to know that whatever it is that we build our foundation on, what our life is all about, the government, friendships, family, that everything is going to be okay. We need that type of reassurance. But instead, there is a bit of a doom and gloom hanging over our heads, where we do feel like, what is going to happen? There's a feeling of, what does the unknown hold for us? Now, that's not just about the election. That's also the general feel for this full moon that we'll be looking at today. So we'll be looking at stability, just wanting to feel a sense of balance. And interestingly enough, you might also have felt your throat flaring up, maybe more mucus than usual, maybe feeling like your voice drops in and out when you talk, or you have to clear it more often. You could also feel a throbbing or a tightness in your throat, or you can even feel your thyroid playing up. And that can come forward in the form of, say, feeling more emotional than usual, feeling a little bit, emotionally, short-tempered. All these things can be symptoms of this full moon. And then, of course, we also have the elections coming up. So there's so many things being jammed into one day. So the collective energy is just kind of like, imagine like a what would you call that? Like these pots that you put the lid on, and then it's like a pressure cooker. And there's no outlet coming, and you just keep adding and adding and adding the pressure. You're turning up the heat, and you're turning up the heat. You can only imagine what that pressure must feel like in that pot. And at some point, it will feel like it's exploding, because as everything in life, that pot, and so do we have our thresholds for what we can cope with and deal with in our lives. And so now these vibes is going to make you feel like you're sitting on edge. It's like you're waiting for that other shoe to drop, but you don't know what about. It's like, okay, I have this feeling of suspense. I have this feeling of feeling like my safety net is going to be ripped out from under me. But from which angle is it going to come from? Which area of my life is it going to affect? So here, what you will find with this full moon is that it's going to affect all aspects of your life, and not necessarily like in a tsunami, great big way, but more so in ways where you're going to feel a bit of a ripple effect in your relationships. You're going to feel a little bit of a ripple effect in your career, maybe. You're going to feel a little bit of a ripple effect in your savings, maybe. Or perhaps in the way that you thought that you have set up your future. Things are going to feel a little bit wobbly in all aspects of your life. Imagine like taking a stone and you're throwing it into a pond, and you have these ripple effects, but they go out in all directions. That is basically what it's going to feel like. But as you've noticed, these ripples also come to an end. So this phase is also just a passing phase. It's all just because of so much built up energy thanks to the full moon, and then also from the elections that's going to come in and build up as well. So if you love Halloween, have fun. Have a great time, but this is also a time to kind of maybe stay closer to home more than venturing a little bit outward because of this energy. You can look at riots coming out. You can look maybe perhaps at, public violence. So if you do go out, make sure that you go out in places that are safe and places where you also feel is safe. So if your gut says no, probably a good idea to now listen to that. Really, I would highly recommend that you listen to that. There's just so much happening at the moment, and there is crowd targeting happening and taking place, and has been taking place over the years as well. So if you do go out, guys, just, don't congregate in too heavily crowded areas as well. Do your thing, have fun, but also go home and don't stay out too late. Tonight is not the night for that. But it doesn't mean that you cannot have fun, but just have fun with discernment and also listen to your gut. It's there for a reason, and is normally a lot more accurate than what we also give it credit for. Now, there's also that part of you that's going to feel like you want to problem solve, right? How do I fix this? How do I prevent this? Here's the frustrating part about this full moon. The good news is you know what's coming. The trickier side to this is that there's not going to be one solution that's going to fix all these ripple effects that's going to be affected in your life. So the best case scenario, the best advice, and the best step forward from here is to create a feeling of safety within yourself. Because when we feel unsafe, we feel hypervigilant in all aspects of our life, right? You're a lot more overly cautious, you're oversensitive, you might be a lot more emotional because you can't find your place of centeredness and grounding. So the best advice during this time is to find your place of centeredness. Find your place of safety, to feel safe. Be that safety net for yourself. Find that within friends and family and people that you also know. So that is going to be a really good strategy for this time. It's just to really stick together and to find safety in numbers. And when I say that, just feeling a sense of collective support from friends and family. Now, what can also be a little bit frustrating here is that you're going to feel these opposing forces. You're going to feel like, I feel worried about my work. I feel worried about my home. I want to invest more time in work because I want to increase my security. But I also want to invest more time because that's where I also perhaps feel safe. And this is where I want to build my foundation and my security and my future. So it's a bit like you're going to feel this push and pull between these two aspects of your home life and then your career life. So don't get too stuck in that. Just know that it doesn't really matter what you do. Like I said earlier in this talk, every aspect is going to feel like it's being affected, especially after election day, because interestingly enough, the vibes in the vibes for this full moon is so strong, and they're also going to last for 2 to 3 weeks starting from today, which, as you now know, rolls over into election day as well. So whatever you're feeling now today, don't think that in a few days it is necessarily going to die off. So that's why I'm saying it's so important that we find our sense of safety, that we find our sense of balance and stability as well, because you are going to need that for the next 2 weeks to just stay and feel stable. Because any reaction coming now during the next 2 weeks is going to be an overreaction. It's going to be overly defensive. It's going to be overly emotional. And then at the end of the day, you might end up sitting with bigger problems than what you initially started with because of the way that you reacted. So it's very important that you just really keep that in mind, because this is going to trigger our fight and flight. And when we are in that constant state of fight and flight, our stress hormonal cycle, right, it has a 20-minute reset button, meaning if you feel the stress, if you feel that fight or flight being triggered because you're feeling maybe scared, you're feeling shocked, you're feeling unsettled by what you're seeing that's going on around you, or you're feeling aspects of what's going around you affecting your inner world, this is a very important time to be aware of finding that place of balance. Because if your stress continues beyond that 20-minute cycle, then the 20-minute cycle of stress starts again. So your body is being pumped with adrenaline, it's being pumped with hormones, and cortisol, and your body's not really necessarily getting a break from all the stress. Now, you might consciously be in such a hypervigilant state that you are blissfully unaware of how much your emotional body and the physical body is actually suffering and struggling because of the state that you're stuck in. So it's very important to consciously come back to a state of balance, whether it's through meditation, which I will talk you through at the end of this talk. So if you feel during the next 2 weeks that you're finding that you're losing a bit your footing there, you can always come back to this meditation here on this channel and just go through that again and find your sense of balance. Because subconsciously also, you're right, your subconscious awareness is also gonna, bring in certain partial aspects of maybe things that happened in your past. Is going to be recreating some old memories, especially the feelings or sensations of that, because of what you're seeing in your present life. So certain things might be triggered, but you don't necessarily have conscious awareness of that. So you see how quickly stress can also build up and start to pile up, leaving you in a state of complete distress, which is really unnecessary. So let go of things that you cannot control. But know that you can control your inner world. You can control your capacity and your ability to create, a relaxing environment, sensations that can, or even exercises. It can be some hanging out with friends, whatever it is that your healthy go-to mechanism. I say healthy because sometimes we have unhealthy mechanisms. So be mindful. And while I'm actually talking about that, be mindful of that during this time, because with this high levels of stress, we can feel a little bit more susceptible to leading towards, bad habits. But these bad habits is actually, as you know, it's going to make you sink even deeper, and you might end up dealing with more problems than what you necessarily have to. So also be mindful how you communicate today, and especially in the next 2 weeks starting today, because your words can be offensive. It can have like that sledgehammer effect. It can hurt people. And of course, if you hurt your loved ones, that's going to mirror back to you. Right? You're gonna feel the shame perhaps, or the guilt, and it's gonna be gnawing back at you. So it's constantly gonna be like a tennis game, and don't let it turn into that. Don't let it turn into that, because right now what you need is your source of support, not to create the opposite. Okay. Now, some good news is patience is going to be on your side. So your ability to feel like you can tolerate this is going to be a lot higher than what you expected. So give yourself a pat on the back. Be patient with yourself as well, and also with your environment. Just know that some things just needs to be ruffled up and rattled up, and it will come back into alignment again. It's almost like imagining stepping into the ocean, and you step into the sand and you see the sand flaring up. But over time, if you give it a few minutes, it starts to really gentle settle down, and the visibility comes back underwater. This is basically now going to be one of those moments. And also remember what I said. Your throat's going to be flaring up, and the throat is all about voicing what it is that you need to say. So be mindful that you don't, that you're gentle with how you communicate yourself, that you don't overreact. Thyroid is also about our ability to be and feel in control of our lives, whether it's our environment, whether it's emotionally. And also, if you want to find out more about that, you can get your book of Metaphysical Anatomy of 679 medical ailments. I talk a lot more about the throat, the psychosomatic hidden messages behind that, and so many other more ailments. And now, when you are ready, let's start the healing meditation. And in this meditation, our focus is going to be on creating safety and balance in your life during moments and times of adversity. And what I would like you to do now here with me is let's start by just taking a nice deep breath. Just reset your frontal cortex. Allowing the body to just almost like shake off any stress that you felt from throughout the day. And I would like you to focus on your breath. Something so simple, yet so powerful, that's bringing life into your body with every breath that you take. let's just bring our focus back to the simple things yet powerful things in life. These little moments. Feeling that air as you breathe in and as you breathe out. Breathing in and breathing out. And when you are ready, I invite you to hear, feel, see, or sense a beautiful beam of light, any color of your choice, just coming over you. From your head, down your shoulders, your back, your chest, your arms, your abdomen, your legs, your spine. Just flowing through every single cell in your body. Just releasing, resolving and dissolving any and all stress that you felt from throughout the day. Feeling how it's resolving and dissolving perhaps other people's stress that you've been holding on in your body. Just feel how it's just flushing and rinsing out, just going down, 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 into the earth. Just feeling how your body is creating space. It's starting to feel lighter without all these extra burdens that was never yours to carry in the first place. And as you are now aware of perhaps any part of you that feels out of control or feeling unsafe, or just feeling rattled, just feeling restless, become aware of where in your body do you feel that? Where's the starting point for that stress? And when you have it, I invite you to continue to imagine this beautiful light that's coming from your head down out your feet, beaming through every single cell in your body and becoming concentrated in the area or areas where you feel this restlessness. Bringing your full focus and intention to that area or areas. And feeling how this beautiful light is just resolving and dissolving, almost like an aspirin tablet in water. Resolving and dissolving the stress or the tension and the presence of this old stress. Feeling it dissipating, evaporating like water on a hot summer's day, just going, going, gone. And now I invite you to allow that light to continue to flow. Just let it flow through all these areas where you feel that old stress. And just resolving and dissolving. You can almost even just imagine it like melting away. Just melting, melting, going, going, gone. Running through you and out of you. Down, 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 down. And I invite you now to allow this beautiful beam of light that you either can hear, feel, see, or sense. It's almost like it's now expanding over you. It's becoming and forming into this beautiful, powerful cocoon light. Feel the strength of this light, the outer layer of it, feeling almost like it's impossible to penetrate it from the outside. Allowing a beautiful color to come over this cocoon, and this color holds your intention for protection and safety. It's a strong, powerful, clear intention. And allowing that beautiful light now to flow over this beautiful cocoon, reinforcing and strengthening the frequency and the vibration of this beautiful light around you. Feeling how it's just becoming stronger and stronger and stronger and stronger. Until you start to feel that beautiful space in that cocoon that is yours. That is your safe space. That is your sanctuary. And as you're in that space, just even allowing yourself to breathe. Feel how you can just let go and just breathe in that space. Feeling how the muscles in your head, your neck, your shoulders, your arms, and your chest and your back is starting to relax. The muscles in your stomach, your hips, your thighs, your buttocks, your lower legs and your feet. All the muscles is just starting to relax. Feeling calmer, peaceful, and feeling safe with discernment, feeling more safe and more in control in that beautiful place and space that is yours. And now, as you are in that beautiful cocoon, that beautiful light, I would like you now to hear, feel, see, or sense all your ancestors who are like warriors, protectors. All the strong women and men now to come forward, holding hands and forming a beautiful circle around you. And becoming aware of their most purest intention for you to feel supported by their presence, to feel protected, to feel held, and to feel heard. Knowing and understanding that these ancestors know how you feel. That there were points in times during their lifetimes where they faced perhaps similar adversities as you did. And they became strong and resilient in that moment because they had support. And they are now paying that forward to you, allowing you to also have and feel that strong, powerful support. and feeling another beautiful light coming over your ancestor. So now you are in your light. And there's another light coming over you and the ancestors, holding everyone in this beautiful protective bubble of love, compassion, support. Where there's strength and safety in numbers. And feeling that old sensations, perhaps where you felt alone, just dissipating. Just going, gone. And just being in that moment, being in that space there for just a few seconds. I'm just going to go quiet and just allow you to just absorb it. And I invite you to just continue to hold that. You do not have to let it go. And you can hold that beautiful state and the space. Bring it with you back into the here and now. Feeling the surface beneath you. And following my voice back into the room. Feeling grounded, balanced, more safe and in control, and also most importantly of all, feeling supported. And when you're ready, you can give yourself a nice big stretch. Wiggle your toes, wiggle your hands. And when you are ready, you can gently open your eyes and welcome back. And allowing yourself now to take with you this feeling of support and unity and togetherness with you wherever you go. Thank you for joining me, and until next time, be the light that you are.
Hi guys, thank you for joining me, and remember to grab your copy of Metaphysical Anatomy on Amazon, 679 medical ailments. And I also wrote about the psychosomatic root causes of that, and I'm spoiling you because I even added key points for you to start looking at important questions that you can ask yourself to start improving your quality of life. And also remember to catch me on Instagram, Evette Rose, 1 with the digit 1, and Metaphysical Anatomy on our Facebook fan page. Bye guys!